Hi, my name is Richard Koo. I'm an occupational therapist working at Toronto Rehab. We're a network of 5 hospitals in downtown Toronto. An occupational therapist is a health professional that specializes in assessing, examining the way that people perform their activities that they do in everyday life. Sometimes people hear the word occupation and think, oh, well, you help people find jobs. But that could be part of it, but it's a lot more than that. We look at activities that people do throughout the day, everything from just being able to look after yourself, so being able to do all your self-care activities like showering and bathing, toileting, getting dressed, being able to cook for yourself, being able to look after how well can you clean the place that you live, and your work activities. I had never heard about occupational therapy until I got to university. When I started at university, I was actually a mechanical engineer. But I had a friend who was an OT, and her work was always a lot more interesting than mine. I wasn't always so interested as, you know, the nitty-gritty design and manufacturing of the products. I was more interested, well, how does this impact people? How do we teach people how to use these things? And I just found that, you know, at OT, a lot of the philosophies and what drives the profession, the ideas behind it were really congruent with my own thinking. An area that OTs work with people in is their ability to look after themselves and to get ready. This gentleman here, he can actually shave really well on his own. The thing he's working on is paying attention and being able to finish doing the whole thing without getting distracted. So that's something that we're working on. So I don't actually need to be in there helping him shave. It's just sort of giving him those cues to keep him on track with what he's doing. Good work, John. Beautiful as always. When I went through OT, it was a Bachelor of Science program. But there's a real push in the profession that all the programs in Canada are soon to be all master's programs. So this is Heather, and she was in a pretty bad car accident.
You got it.
And in the accident, she ended up fracturing every long bone in her body. So her arms, her legs, and she also had a brain injury during that accident as well. Other things we might do as OTs are the management of scars, trying to help reduce the visibility of them, but also often scars tend to become very sensitive, and so we help with the desensitization process, so people learn to feel things normally again around their injuries. And because of her injuries, especially the ones to the skull, there's a little bit of damage to the one side by her eyes, and so we don't really have a clear picture of how well she's seeing things in her environment. So an OT was also trained at assessing vision and the way people see and perceive things as well. It's hard to not see change in a person and see someone who perhaps is very independent, control their lives, now, you know, required to have someone around with them all the time. It's sometimes hard not to identify with that and not to let your own mood and your own view of your ability to make an impact, not to let those change and still stay positive and focused on what you're doing. We make pretty good salaries, like we're pretty comfortable, but certainly nothing in a range of, say, what a doctor might make. One of the greatest things is to be able to love what you do, and I think the only way you can do that is to find something that really suits your own personalities and your own views. I just happen to have found a place that I can practice, that I really enjoy, all the other people that I work with as well. So I think I've got the best of both worlds. I found a good profession and a good place to work. So that's, you know, it makes a big difference when you don't mind getting up and going to work.